Hey guys, welcome back to Zmari Talks. I am your host, Zmari, and it is such an honor to be here with you. Today we're going to have a nice little topic. This topic is really something that I have had to define for myself over the years. Uh, I am building and working on something very close to my heart, and it's like an expression of who I am as an individual and all the capacities and all the facets of who I am. And the whole thing is that in building something, or if you want to have a study foundation for something, you have to understand your why. You have to understand the root of one, your identity and who you are, and the why of why you're doing certain things, why God created you to be who you are, and how that shows up, the why behind the things you do. There's this phenomenal book that Simon Sinek would have written that called Starts With Why. And we're going to kind of take that pattern when it comes to this podcast, where we're going to be talking about, Starts With Why. Understanding your why is very important. It is a foundation that you can actually build from. So if you don't have this, more than likely you'll have to keep starting over because you don't have your why. You don't have that thing that's going to drive you to continue building. And it's rooted in a desire of mine. It is rooted in a passion of mine. It's rooted in a call that I feel deep within myself, that if I don't do this and I don't accomplish this, that I'm not walking in my purpose, that I'm not being bold and unapologetic and authentic to who God has created me to be. It reveals where your identity is based, and this is what we want to decipher. So I'm going to expose a little bit about my life to you guys, and just a little bit of transparency when it comes to the whys behind what I build and what I'm building. Who is Zmari? I am a bridge of hope. I had to do some work to figure out who am I. I'm a bridge of hope has always been something that has been in my life. The challenge is I've wrestled with it so much because I didn't really like how it sounded. I didn't like the fact that bridge was there. Because when you look at what a bridge is used for, yes, it connects one thing to the next thing. However, it's usually trampled upon. It takes a lot of weight. It takes a lot of people just running over it and those type of things. A bridge is not, it's very useful. It's necessary. Like we can't live without it. However, what my lens has been in previous years was only from abuse because that was my background. So I only saw it from that perspective. But now in a more healed version of myself, I look more to hope. I understand what a bridge is used for. But now I look at, I am here to provide hope. And I'm really there's that person who connects people from who they are to the person that they're called to be, that they can walk fully in the purpose that God has called them to walk in. So I connect people from one place to the next. And that one place to the next is hope. I connect them back to their hope. I connect them back to who hope is in their life. This is the foundation, the real foundation of my why. I am a bridge of hope. Every single thing that I do is an expression of my why. This is my value system. This is my mission, my vision, and my mandate. Now, every single thing that I do comes into alignment with that. If I decide to do something, it's because in that specific sphere of influence, I am being a bridge of hope there, wherever it is. So on this podcast, I'm being a bridge of hope here. Through music, I'm being a bridge of hope there. Through fashion and what I do through Expressions by Zmari, through that means I'm being a bridge of hope there. Every facet of my life, on my job, I'm being a bridge of hope there. The way I relate to people that I mentor, that I coach, I'm being a bridge of hope in their lives where they can have somewhere to run to and just not feel as though life is constantly coming down on them, but I can reconnect them to hope, that I can reconnect them to joy, that there is more to look forward to. You're not stuck. It's just a bad season, but you can get out of this. You can move past this. You are not stuck. This is who I am. Every time anyone comes into interaction with me, this is what they should take away, because I want to align my life so integrally that I become this bridge of hope for them. That in every single thing that I do, it's just evident and it's exemplified that I am a bridge of hope. What is this Zmari brand? What does it represent? It represents a safe place. You should have safety in your skin, safety in your identity, safety in who you are, safety in what you contribute to the earth, safety in how you contribute to the earth. So you would hear me talking a lot about identity things and creating environments where people can reconnect back to what's important to them and who they are. Every single thing that I do will create that environment. On this podcast, I'm creating a safe space where a community can be built for persons can feel safe to be their authentic, God-given self. Even if it's raw, unapologetic, and it's not filtered or curated or properly healed yet, they can come here, they can find hope and start to heal. Because why? They're reconnecting with who they are, their identity, and who they're called to be. It doesn't matter how you desire to show up on the earth, there's always room for you to be uniquely you in my brand. This is what my brand is. It makes space for you to show up and be uniquely you. Why? Because we're connecting you authentically from the root of who you are, from the person that you are to the person that you're called to be, that you've been created to be. We're tapping back in to that authentic person. You don't have to hide. You don't have to back out. You don't have to cover away. My brand is to help you connect authentically to the person that you're called to be, because that person is that person of hope for you. That person is the person with dreams and visions for your life. That person is the person with joy, enthusiasm, and excitement for the future. That person is the person that makes you feel fulfilled and taps into all of who you are. That is the person that we want you to get connected to. And of course, we know the person of hope is Jesus Christ himself. It's God himself. So it's really connecting back to your creator. It's connecting back to your God-given identity. Connecting back with who he created you to be, the image that he has created you to be in that unique, divine form of who you're called to be. So here's a couple of questions that people have asked me over the years as to why I do certain things. I have a fashion brand, and people have asked me why have you decided to go into fashion now? Beyond the fact that I'm obsessed with it and that I just completely love it, um, growing up, probably this was not necessarily something that people would appeal to, in the sense of I might have been into fashion, but it might have been seen as being materialistic, or it might have been seen as being too frivolous. But because I'm connected to the core of who I am, I'm connected to my inner child and what makes me happy, I can say I just love fashion. From since childhood to now, I would dress unique, just comfortable. Once I'm comfortable in my clothing, it was just always stylish. My sister actually used to be like, you will put together some of the most weirdest things, but it just looks good when you put it together. It's like the way you put it together, it looks good, but it's so weird. And that's the whole thing, is like, I've always been that person who would dress uniquely, but when it comes together, it made sense. Because I was defined with, okay, you're kind of weird, but it does look cool. It made me see fashion through a different lens, where I wasn't about what's trending, or it wasn't about what everybody else had. It was more about how I wanted to show up. It was connected to my identity. I just want to wear this. This makes me feel good. This makes me feel comfortable in my skin. So it made me see fashion through a completely different lens. It wasn't about a brand, it wasn't about name, it wasn't about a design. It was just what felt good for me and what was interesting to me. It was all about expression. And I believe that fashion in itself helps you communicate to the world who you are and how you want to show up. I use fashion to be a bridge of hope where I continue to create spaces where persons can feel comfortable in how they want to show up. The way you dress uniquely in your own creativity and those type of things makes you feel loved and adored and comfortable and content in yourself. You're not dressing for approval, but you're dressing because you're comfortable in your own skin. This is what I always aspire with my brand. That persons could wear comfortable clothing, that it could still be stylish, that they could wear it to go down the street, but they could also wear it to a main event and they still look good. And it doesn't feel as though they're displaced or they're overdressed for anyone or underdressed for anyone because it's stylish, it's fashionable, it's unique, it's just a statement piece. And yeah, you're just comfortable in your own skin. And that's exactly what my brand represents, Zmari Fit, your unique fashion, expression, and how you communicate to the earth who you are. What does the Zmari Fit brand promote and represent? Zmari Fit is about wearing comfortable clothing and feeling comfortable in your clothes and in your skin. It's comfortable clothing that is fashionable, able to be used for multiple occasions, and it has a touch of classy bougie, just a touch. Another question that people often ask me is about Expressions by Zmari. So what is Expressions by Zmari? If I were to say Expressions by Zmari is a space for uniqueness, fashion, and serenity. The ambience and the atmosphere of Expressions by Zmari is what is the key to what makes Expressions what it is. You feel safe, you feel calm, you feel relaxed, you're entertained, but you're also inspired and comfortable. And that's exactly what we want. We want to be a bridge of hope through this expression of who we are and be inspired in that type of environment that makes you think about what can I do with my life? What can I do with my future? Of course, it's just to be a bridge of hope. Podcast. What is Zmari Talks? Where did Zmari Talks come from? Growing up, I was not much of a communicator. I was more silent than I am now. And because of that, I had to learn how to start advocating for myself, speaking for myself. A lot of my life was not lived through my perspective, but it was lived through the perspective of other people telling me how I should feel, how I should think, how I should operate. And as I got older, I started to have my own opinions on things and my own perspective of things. And because of that, I had to really find my own vein. And what Zmari Talks has created for me is a safe space to be able to share my life and my journey and things that I've extracted from my journey with others that allows you to be bold and unapologetic in your unique identity so that you can grow, that you can glow, and that you can be brilliant in all of who God has called you to be. What is the biggest lesson I've learned from doing this podcast so far? And I can definitely tell you talk therapy works. And the reason why I talk about that is because, as I said to you guys, coming from a background where I did not share a lot, that I didn't communicate much, and because of that, I would just stuff down everything and it would lead to depression, self-esteem issues, self-harm, and not self-harm in the sense of cutting myself or suicide or those type of things, but self-harm in the sense of I would put myself in sinful positions, carry myself through cycles of repetitive sins, depressions, low self-esteem, insecurities, those type of things because I did not communicate. The platform that Zmari Talks has created for me has allowed me to open up myself and share myself more with others. So now I am seen, I am known, and I am loved. What it allowed for me was to finally share my perspectives and share my truths about how I experienced my life and how I lived my life. And because of such, I was able now to recognize that sometimes you just need to talk. You just need to talk to a friend. You just need to talk to somebody that you trust. You just need to let it out. Sometimes we have so much built up traffic that cup is so backed up with stuff that as soon as we just let out that initial traffic, that we start flowing, now you're able to actually work through things. You're able to see things differently. You're able to even get out some of the things that you didn't even know was there, because there are so many layers of things that are inside of you that you probably didn't even address or take time to address. So you need to talk things through. You can't leave things bottled up inside of you for years, because it will cause unresolved issues and wounding in our lives that could go on for the perpetual journey of our lives. So say it honest, say it broken, say it healing, say it unafraid, even if it just means like talking in a trusted circle or sharing it to God. You just need to say it. You just need to let it out. As broken, as fractured, as incomplete, as um, bad as it might sound, just say it. And I'm so grateful for not just Zmari Talks, but my mentor being such a safe space to just sometimes vent out my frustrations and say, this is how I feel. It may not be the right way, but I think I might not be in the right frame of mind. I might be wrong. But this is how I feel, this is my mindset, and this is what it is. It is what it is. And yes, I would be open to feedback, but just having a safe space to be raw and unapologetic and be bold enough to share that in a safe environment makes me realize that talk therapy is very, very, very important. And that's one major takeaway that I've taken from this podcast, definitely. What do I want to be remembered for? I want to be remembered for being a bridge of hope. I want to be able to be that person who helps people get from one destination to the next. In some way or in some form, I've been able to add value to somebody's life, whether it's through my music, whether it's through this podcast, whether it's through fashion, whether it's through any other activity or just the community that we're building here through the Zmari brand. I want to be able to help somebody find hope, introduce them to hope them himself, which is God. Really understand that hope is in God. He is our hope. He has provided hope for us for eternity. And once we align our lives and we fall in love with the creator of this universe, that our lives can be a hope-filled life, not just hopeful, that I'm hoping for something for the future, but it's hope filled. That hope lives within me, that hope is within me, and that I can live my life with hope, that I can live my life with great expectation because hope lives in me. And I just want to be able to be that bridge of hope to persons so that they can find hope himself and that they will live with hope within themselves, that they walk into their God-given identity, be bold and unapologetic in that identity, that now they can grow and they can expand, they can glow, they can be brilliant and they can be dynamic, that they can be the light of the world that they're called to be, that God has called us to be on the earth, that they will walk fully into that identity and fulfill their purpose on earth. That's what I want to be remembered for being just one person on that path who has been a bridge of hope. What has been the biggest sacrifice that I've had discovering who I am? That journey, when I tell you it's been tumultuous, I will have to say everything. I have honestly lost everything. The me that I knew once before is no longer the me that I am now. And the whole thing about saying that is that probably the me of today is not going to be the me in the next 10 years, and I will have to lose everything all over again. But that is just the life that you're called to when you want to be obedient to God. It's a life of emptying yourself of everything that you think you are, that you think that you have, so that you can have all of Him and the fruitfulness of Him. I have lost my loved ones, my family, I've lost friends, I've lost income opportunities, I've lost plans and hopes for my future, I've lost potential relationships, lost many things. I've lost promotional opportunities. I've lost many things. But the thing is, if I were to gain those things and I not have a relationship with Jesus, not have a relationship with God, not have a relationship with the Holy Spirit, I would still be empty. I would still be empty. So the sacrifice of losing everything is absolutely worth it because the person that I became, knowing that I have him, is everything. He has become everything to me. That I know what my life would be without him. It's empty without him. It's nothing without him. It's worthless without him. And the encounter or the interaction or just the proximity and the relationship that we want with Jesus is what I desire. It's my every desire. And even now, I see that and I feel as though I can do a better job in pursuing that because the sacrifice is rooted. He is rooted. Zmari music. Zmari music is how I express myself through writing, and it allows listeners to go on that journey as well in their own lives and find relatability through this song or through this music that they can find hope within it. So Zimmery music is just another outlet of expressing that journey of becoming. In some way they can relate and they can understand, and it allows them to get through some of the most difficult times of their life because now they have an anthem to get them through, or they have something that they can relate to say, I'm not alone in this journey, and there are other people who are going through and navigating some of the same things that I am navigating in my own life. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of what the Zimmery brand represents and where it's going to go. I am so grateful for everybody who has honestly walked alongside with me on this journey and observing this journey and encouraging me on this journey. Like, you guys don't know how that really encourages me to keep going and to keep pressing. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so honored for this community that we're building. And we want to continue to grow this community, that it really reaches as many people as possible, that we can be a light, that we can be a hope for somebody else who needs it, that we can demonstrate the love of God and express his heart for mankind through his love. As we say, start with why. As we talk about your why, I hope that this pod has given you a practical example of how your why is the foundation of every single thing that you do. And as it is the foundation of every single thing that you do, that you can now start to build and integrate it into every expression of who you are, that now as you build, you are always reminded of the purpose behind every single thing that you're building. That it's not just a money-making venture that's going to get you wealthy, but it's something that is driven by a cause and is driven by your purpose for life. It's greater than your brand. It's greater than what you represent in your own physical self, that it's bigger than you, it's beyond you, and that it really sparks a light in people that they can become brilliant in everything that they are and everything that they do. So I hope this is a practical example that you now can start to apply in your own life and map out everything that you're building. Because the Bible talks about write the vision and make it plain. So as you're making your vision plain, map out your why at every step of it, that you understand that at each point that I've reached in my journey, this is why I'm doing this. I understand the foundation. I understand my purpose. I understand my call. That even if it gets difficult, I have my why in front of me that's telling me I should keep going. I should keep pushing because there's a cause that's greater. There's a people who are waiting for me. So this is my encouragement to you this week. I love you guys, and get that practical plan out. Write it out. Make it plain so that you can map this thing out for your life, that now you have a foundation that is solid, that you can move your life forward, that you can be bold and unapologetic in everything that you're doing, so that you can grow, that you can glow, and that you can be brilliant as you become all of who God has called you to be. I love you all. Bye.